Good morning, everyone. It's a morning, beautiful, quiet morning at the end of September, and I just want to walk around with you and show you how my garden is slowly getting ready to go to sleep. Look at this happy morning glory flowering here. They don't feel like it's fall. They're happy to be here. They used to be last year, and a lot of them, and I didn't want them to be so massive here, so I weeded out majority of morning glory plants. They were happily self-seeder here. So I let maybe one or two climb up, and pretty late in the season, so they're still flowering. Sharing the space with honeysuckle, Major Wheeler. I trimmed it. It responded very well to trimming and is blossoming again. Now, how our little boxwood's doing here? You see, this is their first year right here and right there. Sorry, camera is focusing on my hand. These little guys. This guy is a little stressed out here. I'm protecting them from accidental feet of my kids and anybody else who wants to step on them. But this guy is a little bit stressed out here, so I need to make sure that he receives plenty of water going into fall. Another boxwood right here is doing okay. Again, this is their first year here, and they will be much stronger when they survive winter, and eventually they will be trained as spherical structures here in the shape of a ball. Here's another one, and here we have floss flower, which is very cheery. Right here, look at it. It's an annual, has a little bit of a bright blossom for me. The first time I grew it from seeds. I was thinking that I can pair this color with my Lady of Shalott orange color, the blooms, but it's too of a harsh of combination, so I will be looking something maybe in the family of salvias. Now, what do we have here? This big bush, believe it or not, is black currant bush, and I was fighting it, trying to figure out why it doesn't want to give us, the harvest, the berries, for maybe 5 years, and finally I'm ready to give up on it. I did everything possible. At the beginning I thought that birds do go after black currants, so I did everything to it. I watered it well. The second year I put a lot of good stuff into the soil, made sure that this bush gets enough of water, made sure we caged it, and as you can see there is a netting all over this bush. No, even without birds, with good food, good water, this bush didn't produce at all. All the berries kind of died out. So the final decision came that I'm taking this bush down, all of it. This fall it's going to be some job, and I will prepare that ground, the soil, for whatever needs to be put there next year. Now, the big development here, what happened in this corner of my garden, is that our good neighbors took their willow tree out. I will show it to you. It was a diseased tree and it was there for many years, and finally our neighbors took it down, and look at this, we have a big bold spot here just over our fence. So now I'm faced with the decision what to do with that spot. I have to think what I need to plant there. Maybe some sort of a... I love birches, but birches don't do very well in our climate. Zone 7, they dislike humidity and heat of the summer. But I love the birch tree here. I have to think about it. Look at this corner. My dead nettle loves fall. Look how it started thriving all over again. Oh, I love it here. I just made sure that I trimmed it because it wants to jump out and escape right here. You see the bald spots in the grass? That's where dead nettle was pushing the grass away, trying to conquer the territory. This little guy, Thyme, is so cute in spring. Right now it looks a little bit of a disheveled thing, like a bird nest. I gave it a haircut, so hopefully it will revive a little bit in spring, in the fall, or maybe not. It will go like that into the fall. Our path is doing okay. Lost several stones, but that's fine. Rose of Sharon tree is doing good here. Now suddenly I realize this Rose of Sharon will be growing here, and I will let it grow because there's so much space now. Now here we have our boxwoods. I am very happy how I treated these boxwoods. They were so diseased. So they went through extensive treatment and they are bouncing back slowly. Next year I will start trimming them on a regular basis and hopefully they will come back to its glorious shape. Now what do we have here? I want to show you this beautiful little heuchera, and this heuchera is Black Beauty. It's keeping its beautiful blooms for a month already, and it is such a wonderful little corner for this perennial. Nobody touches it here. It enjoys little brushing against the feet of passers-by, but it stands here so quietly and enjoys the dark conditions. Beautiful. I'm very happy with this heuchera. Now, these ferns, you see the ferns right here? They always grow there. I have to replant them. Maybe in the spring I will go in and will move them out of there because they struggle there to live. Now here we have a little mess. This area needs to be cleaned thoroughly. There's a lot of things going on here. All right, let's go under the ark and see what's going on at the back of my garden. Butterfly bush finished, almost finished blossoming. Here we have our raspberries, which are looking quite wild right now. They need to be tamed. I need to go in and do my job with them. All right, our back porch is having its quiet moment before going into sleep. As you can see, sedum is blossoming well. Now it's time to shine for sedum. Marigolds are getting tired looking, but still blooming galore. The same with verbena. Let's see what's going on here. Now, my rose, the generous gardener, right here, stopped blooming 100%. That's it. I let it go in, I let it form hips, and I kind of tied it up without really going in pruning it. So this way all the stems would be protected against the wind, and I will deal with trimming this big rose, big climbing rose in spring. Now I want to show you what I did near the roots of my rose. This little bush right here, this little shrub, it's called, what's it called? Soft touch Japanese holly. What a hardy performer. I planted it. I should do a special video on this little guy. I planted it 3 years ago, and it is just carefree thing. Of course, it gets water here because of rose, you know, because of rose roots right here. But it's such a hardy performer. Here I have 3 bushes, all 3 of them. It was a bare spot here, and I have 3 of them here. I will show you. One is here, and 2 of them are here. And I worried that they wouldn't take shade very well, but they are doing quite good. Now what do we have here? This is my little propagation spot. You probably wouldn't see it, but there are a lot of little boxwoods growing here. What I will do, I will slightly cover them with with leaves, and let's see how they will overwinter. These little 2 guys, they overwintered from last year. You see these little boxwoods? And this is a 2nd year growing. So I decided to put more of boxwoods here because I need green presence in my garden. Now here we have our creeping thyme. I had to weed out the garden thyme from here. You see this empty spot here? Because I want creeping thyme to take over. It's kind of looking dull right now, but I'm very happy how it colonizes this area here. Sun just came out. All right, let's take a walk here. See them finished blossoming. It overwinters here always in the pot. I basically do nothing about it. Well, at the end of fall, I will just take all the stems down and generally clean it up for it to look tidy. Our arborvitae is very happy here. Floss flower. I want to show you also in the front what I did with all the yew bushes. I gave them a trim. Oh, look at these beautiful things here. Okay, let's go to the front and I will show you what I did at the front porch. Okay, so here we are. We're going to go to the front and I will show you how I'm trying to trim my yew bushes, my yew shrubs, which are growing near the front door. Now the plan was in spring to trim down these shrubs right here. And because I have, you see on top of the house that round window, I want to repeat that round element throughout my landscape in the front. So what I did, you see how I trimmed this yew right here? It doesn't look like anything right now, but if I would be persistent, I will continue trimming it. Eventually, I will have a ball here, some sort of a ball. You see, because this shrub was constantly trimmed, it doesn't have a strong central leader, the trunk. So I had to put this metal stick here in order for this little, you see, for this little branch to stay up and not be toppled by the snow in winter. I probably will do another little tying right here just to make sure that snow is not going to damage this very valuable little guy. And eventually, hopefully, he will develop into some sort of a spherical shape here. So that's what I did there on this yew bush. And then I did the same thing on this one. Let's see, right here, the same little fellow. He probably needs to be tied too, a little bit tighter here. Okay. Yews are remarkable. You see, they look a little bit kind of dry here because I had to trim them so tight. But actually, yews are one of those very versatile shrubs which benefit a lot from trimming, and they rejuvenate excellently. And they rejuvenate very well on old wood. So you see this area here, how dull it looks, how dead it looks. Next year it will rejuvenate very well and it will look great in spring. Right now it doesn't look so well. Well, yews generally don't look very well in fall and winter. Now here we have the trio of sedum. Look at them. The colors are very interesting. This sedum, which stopped blooming, it had white blooms. Even when it finished blooming, the difference in green color is very interesting. So sedum is, I would say, three-season interest plant, because in spring it has beautiful growth, lush, succulent growth. In summer it keeps growing, and in the fall, look at this, all beautiful, interesting colors. Let it help to spread here. Oh, look at this. Very satisfying little fella. This sedum, believe it or not, we inherited with the house 10 years ago. And look, nothing is wrong with it. Sometimes I take away extra sedum from the pot, and every year it's just happily blooming. And of course, no changes to the house flowers. They will always be the same till it's time to repaint them again. Now, our Queen of Sweden rose, I realized that trimming schedule should be different for this rose because it wants to grow very tall and very high here. You see how tall it is? I would be trimming it differently next year. It finished blossoming. And now at the end I want to show you the lonely bloom of my Boscobel rose. Oh, look at this baby. Isn't she the most prettiest thing? This is her first year in my garden. Look at that beauty. Wonderful. Next year she will be performing much better in this garden. I'm going to do a review on her next year. As you can see, I'm finding critters here, but she is magnificent. I love her blooms. Let's look at it again. Oh, gorgeous. And this is her little bud right here. Still blooming. Together with Lady of Shalott, she's the only one blooming in my garden. Gorgeous thing. A little bit prone to black spot, as you can see. That's the only thing I have with roses in my garden, because we live in coastal Connecticut. It's high humidity area here. Black spot is a big issue here. All right, let's see here. What's going on here? This is our beautiful, wonderful giant yew, growing very happily here. Oh, this is such a good, nice fellow here. I love him here. I forgot to put away the hose. This area is still under construction. Believe it or not, I still didn't find good stones, natural looking stones here. Oh, the sun is probably too sharp to see anything here right now. Yeah, floss flower is here too. I had too many seeds probably. I just stuck them all around the garden. That's the beauty of having seeds. That's the beauty of growing your plants out of seeds. You can have so many of them. All right. Flowers on the house too here. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Happy gardening!